Hello everybody, Commander Shepard here, and thank you guys for tuning in to my journal this week. I didn't have a journal last week, but I just really didn't have anything to talk about, and I kind of, Friday snuck up on me that week, and I just really didn't have anything prepared, and I really didn't know what to talk about. But this week I've got something to talk about, and that's going to be E3. So this video is really going to be about me just kind of, expressing my feelings on some of what I saw at E3. The, just various games that I'm interested in, some that I just have strong opinion about, and I really hope that you guys enjoy the video. In the background, I'm going to be playing some Terraria. It's just something that I've been playing lately. And so I figured, hell, I'll just play some Terraria. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. So yeah, I've got a lot on my list to go through. I'm gonna try and talk about, I'm gonna try and talk for a few minutes on everything if I can. Some of it I might not, talk much about, but so yeah, let's just get right on into it. These are the games I'm really interested in. There are some that I'm kind of mixed on, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But first, let's start out with some games I'm really fucking excited about. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with Horizon Zero Dawn. I am super excited about this game. Not too much is really known about it. It just looks wonderful. It's like, God, I don't know. It's something to do with like the technology and the wildlife. It's kind of merged into one, and it's like, I guess most of humanity left Earth or whatever, and now we just have a small percentage of people that are left on the planet, and they and the world has grown out, like all the wildlife has really filled out the planet now. It's kind of reclaimed the Earth, and humans have the humans that live here on Earth at this time, they've kind of gone back to a more primitive state, I guess. But it's really weird because the wildlife and everything, they're kind of like a hybrid between, robots and nature. I mean, I don't know. I can't even really explain this game that much. We've seen it before, but man, the new footage that they showed at E3, it just looks so goddamn good. If it's, if what we've seen is anything to be believed, I think it's gonna be one amazing fucking game. I am super excited about Horizon Zero Dawn. It just, I don't know. There's something about it. It is truly unique. It is one of the more unique games, that's being shown at E3. Just look at it. Okay. I'm not gonna. I don't even think there's anything else to be said about it. God, just look at the footage, man, you guys, because God, it looks really exciting, and it's one that I'm really hyped for. I hope that it really turns out good. Let's just jump to something else here. The Spider-Man game looks really cool. That was kind of a surprise. I don't know if anybody really saw that coming, that there was a new Spider-Man game coming out. It's from Insomniac Games, which I'm really fucking excited about. It's the Ratchet and Clank guys. God, I think they're going to do a good job with it. I'm also extremely excited that it's not tied to the movies at all. It's not tied to the new movie or anything. It's going to be its own thing. It's going to draw its influences from the comic book series, the long-running Spider-Man comic book series. It's going to be drawing a lot of influence from that. They have the freedom to just do the game that they want to do. Which I love because it's been a little while. We had a while back we had Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, I believe is what it was called. The first game, because there was actually 2 games in that series. The second one I didn't play because I heard that it just wasn't very good. But the first game, I was very surprised, how much I enjoyed it. And that game was clearly based right off of the comics. It was, several like dimensions of Spider-Man. Like you had the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, you had the Amazing Spider-Man, you had Noir Spider-Man, which I actually surprisingly enjoyed a lot. You also had the Spider-Man 2099, I believe it's the future Spider-Man that was in that game as well. It was really fun. Like each dimension Spider-Man levels, they all kind of had their own feel, and they were all really cool and unique, and that game was really, really awesome. But yeah, I mean, not much has been going on with the Spider-Man games since then. I mean, there's been the Amazing Spider-Man games, which I've heard bleh things about. Like the first one apparently was okay, but after that just wasn't very good. But this one, oh, I'm just so excited that they're not tied down to the movies or anything, or the upcoming movie. Because I just, man, why? It's so much better when you can just work off of the comic and just have complete freedom to just do what you want and not be tied to the movie. So I'm really excited about it. I mean, I don't know how much of that footage is really true. I mean, you kind of got to take a lot of the footage that you see at E3 with a grain of salt, because who knows how much of that is, all staged, or, is really true. I mean, because it's very directed, with what you see. And, so we'll see, but goddamn, what they showed was fucking awesome. And I just love the detail of Spider-Man's costume. It's a little different. I still really like the look a lot, and there was a lot of zoomed up, close-up shots of it, and just the fabric looked really cool. It looked really realistic. I'm really fucking excited about it. It's been a while since I've got to play a good Spider-Man game, so I'm really excited about that. That one kind of came out of nowhere. Let's see what else here. We're just kind of going down the list, not really in any particular order. For Honor. For Honor, just, it looks awesome. It's basically a more, I don't know if I want to say primitive, but, I'll say, it's a more primitive, like, warfare type game. And it's like, so basically what the game is it's, I think primarily it's a multiplayer game, but it's got a single player campaign and everything. By what I've heard, it's supposed to be pretty extensive. We'll wait and see what the campaign is like, but by what I've heard, it's actually really, really good. So we'll see, like, what that's gonna be, because it's gonna suck if it's just like a little 4-hour thing, a little 4-hour campaign. That would be kind of disappointing. But hopefully it's like a full-on campaign, that's really exciting and just holds your interest. And but basically what the game is it's like, it's Vikings versus knights versus samurai, and it's a lot of melee combat and so on. And the combat system is really interesting. It looks like it takes a lot of skill. It's something that you're gonna have to really learn how it works, because it's like, by what I've seen, because I've never played it, so I don't know, but I'm assuming you use the right stick, and there's like, it's a guard system, so I guess if you push up on the stick and hold it, you're blocking, downward strikes, right? Like downward slash attacks. And if you hold the stick to the right, you'll block, slashes from the right, and you'll block slashes from the left if you hold it in the left direction. So it looks really interesting. It looks like something that's going to take a lot of skill. It's going to take a lot of effort to learn. It really looks complex and really interesting, and it looks badass. I mean, the footage of that game, just look it up. For Honor. It looks wonderful, and I'm really digging it. I mean, it just looks really cool. So I'm going to be keeping my eye out on that game, because yeah, it just looks so fucking cool, you guys. Okay, what else here? I don't really think there's too much more to say about it. Just it's really fucking badass. Okay, Dishonored 2. I played the first Dishonored. I loved it. I actually never got around to beating it though, which is pretty surprising. I was doing really damn good. I was doing a playthrough where I don't actually kill anybody, so that I can get the better ending or whatever. For whatever reason, I just didn't actually complete it. But god damn it, I had so much fun with it. It's a wonderful game. If you like stealth games, this is more of a stealth game. It's first person. It's kind of a Victorian style, like fantasy world, and there's like witches, there's magic, there's some, you know, crazy technology mixed in there as well. It's got kind of a steampunk style to it. In this second game, you know, you get to actually play with two characters this time around. You can play as Corvo, who is the character in the first game, but there's also, you can play as a princess, who is also in the first game, and she's going to have her own abilities and her own play style and everything. So it just looks really interesting. It's going to be really cool because it's just going to add even more replay value to the game, because you get to play through these levels with two different characters, you know, and it's going to be really interesting, and I'm really excited about it, because Dishonored, the first Dishonored, was a game that really surprised me. You know, I think that it was a game that I got for free, and I ended up just fucking falling in love with it. It was so much damn fun, and the second one, you know, it looks really good. So keep your eyes out for Dishonored 2, because it looks really wonderful. South Park, The Fractured But Whole. You know, this is just a game that it's just going to be a fun game. It's just going to be really goddamn funny. It's going to be a pure joy to play. For those of you who played the first game, South Park, the Stick of Truth, you know, and really enjoyed it, this game looks like it's just going to be, you know, just more of the same great fun that game had. I mean, it just looks wonderful. It looks really funny. They're actually doing some new things in the game. They're doing more of a tactics thing, like a, you know, it's more of a tactical RPG now, kind of like, you know, something like Final Fantasy Tactics or something, you know, or Fire Emblem, you know, where you move around on a grid, and, you know, and it looks really cool and interesting, and, you know, so I'm really excited about it. The humor is there. All the characters that we love from South Park are there. It looks like it might be bigger and better, and just, I am super goddamn excited about it. And what they showed at E3, it looks like it's going to be a really fun game. So, you know, what else can I really say? It's going to be really cool, I think. I'm not going to spend too much more time talking about it, because, you know, it is what it is. It looks like it's just going to be a fun fucking game. So, let's see here. What else we got? Nioh. So, Nioh, now you guys know I'm not like a huge Dark Souls fan. I've got certain things I just don't like about it. It just kind of turns me off from the game. And, but Nioh actually looks really goddamn cool. Now, Nioh, it's By what I've heard, it's supposed to be kind of Dark Souls-like, but this game is set in more of a feudal Japan setting. But it's got, a lot of Japanese monsters and creatures of mythology from, Japanese myths and legends, and it looks really, really cool. It's more fast-paced, it looks like. I don't know, just something about it rubs me the right way. I'm going to keep an eye out for it. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. Nioh. What else we got? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into Resident Evil 7, because this is one that I've got some big words for. So I might spend a little time talking about it. So I want to go ahead and get out of the way so I make sure I have time to talk about it. So Resident Evil 7, how do I feel about Resident Evil 7? I'm actually a little confused, actually. I know a lot of people are really excited for it, and I'm like, yeah, I can understand that. But here's my problem. It just, it doesn't look like a Resident Evil game. And when I say that, I mean it doesn't look like a Resident Evil game like Resident Evils 1 through 4. Those are Resident Evil games. And I know there's people that say, oh, Resident Evil 4 is what started the bad games. Well, that's not, you're not wrong, but you're not completely right either, because Resident Evil 4 was the change that the series needed. It's just, it was such a huge success, right? But it's like, it was still a Resident Evil game. It mixed things up a bit. It had, you could now aim, that doesn't mean it was fucking Call of Duty. A lot of people like to, whenever you put, aim mechanics in games, people like to all of a sudden say, oh, it's just fucking Call of Duty now. No, it's not Call of Duty at all. It's just, you had to actually, aim and be accurate. And it was a wonderful game, and it still had the light puzzles in it. It still had a little bit of backtracking stuff in there, like all the Resident Evils have. It still had the lovable characters, but also the super campiness. But it was also still really damn creepy, and still had some scares in there. My problem, because here's the thing, Capcom, they're really bad about, I don't think they understood what made Resident Evil 4 so damn good and why we all love it so much. I think that Capcom, for some weird reason, they thought that we liked Resident Evil 4 just because it had aiming mechanics and it had a little more, it felt a little more like an action game, I guess, just because you could aim and stuff. But that's not quite true. It was still a Resident Evil game. It felt faster because, well, go back and play classic Resident Evil. It's really slow, it just is. And I love those games, but they are slow. So, Resident Evil 4 just felt a lot faster, because of it. I guess they just thought that that's what made the game so popular, but it really wasn't. It's because it was still a Resident Evil game. So when Resident Evil 5 came along, that's why, it became a little more action, and they kept going in that direction where they were really just wanting to do action. And it kind of hurt the series. And Resident Evil 5 is still a fine game too. It's just, as a Resident Evil game, it did have some problems, but it was still fun. It's just a fun action game, especially one that you can play with a buddy, because they had co-op, and it was really, really well done in that regard. It was really damn fun. But this new game, because they said that they were going to return to their horror roots with this one, return Resident Evil back to its horror roots, and that sounds cool. But the thing is I don't know, it doesn't look like a Resident Evil game at all. I'm totally cool with it returning to its horror roots, but this was not what I was expecting at all. It actually, I, now that I really think about it, I really don't like what I saw. And I had been telling myself that, you know what, I like what I saw, but as a Resident Evil game, I don't like it. You know, it makes me feel weird. But truthfully, I don't know if I like it at all now. Now that I've really had time to just let it set for a little bit, you know. There's just something about it that I don't know. It doesn't look at all like a Resident Evil game. And when I say that, I mean Resident Evil's 1 through 4. It doesn't fit the spirit of those games. It really, really just looks like Capcom is trying to make PT. You know, they're just taking, you know, the idea of PT that was under Konami, that Konami, you know, just, you know, fuck Konami, right? They canceled all that. And it just looks like, you know, Capcom is just trying to to copy PT and just be like, hey, you know, you guys aren't getting PT, but guess what? We're gonna turn Resident Evil into PT, and yeah, we're gonna try and get you know, cash in on that, you know, and but that doesn't mean that's Resident Evil, you know. I'm just really weirded out by it. I just don't think that this new game is what, you know, Resident Evil should be. You know, it's like Resident Evil, it's meant to be scary, but it's meant to also be fun. You know, it's meant to be a little campy. That's just how it is. I mean, that's just my opinion, and I know a lot of people are probably still super duper psyched about it, but I mean, think about it. I mean, it just does not look like a Resident Evil game at all. It's PT, a less scary PT, because that, you know, demo, it's not really scary at all. It's just, you know, here it is, it's first person, just like in PT. The graphics are really nice, just like in PT, and it's all dirty and grimy, and, you know, I mean, just look at it. I mean, compare it to PT, and it's like, you can clearly see what Capcom's doing. So, I'm kind of weirded out by it, but I know that people are super, super excited about it, and I'm like, I don't know, man. As a Resident Evil fan from, like, God, I mean, I've played Resident Evil games since I was a fucking kid, you know, and I don't know, I'm just kind of weirded out by it, because I'm like, man, if that's what Resident Evil's going to be, then I just don't know if that's what I want, you know. Even if it's really good, it's not going to feel like Resident Evil anymore, you know. So I'm kind of weirded out by it. We'll wait and see how it turns out, because I might be wrong, because that's just, you know, E3. And just like PT, you know, I knew that the whole PT demo thing, which we all know is Silent Hills, before it got canceled by, you know, Konami, hashtag fuck Konami. You know, it's like, you know, god damn, my mind's going blank here. I'm trying to read something. But no, it's like, even then, that PT demo, I had a feeling, I was like, you know what, that's not gonna be what the game will be, you know, like, when the game actually comes out, it's not gonna be the PT demo. It'll be probably third person, it'll probably be more familiar, so I'm assuming that the Resident Evil 7 will probably be more familiar, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, that took up a lot of time. I was worried that I'd talk about it all day. Zelda Breath of the Wild, I mean, what can you say? It's an open world Zelda. I'm a little skeptical of it, honestly. I know people are just flipping out over it. Super excited, but to me, You know, it didn't quite feel like Zelda. Also, I'm a little annoyed because I'm like, seriously, just, you know, Nintendo, give us the ability to play with a female Link, you know, like, especially in this Western style Zelda game that you're making. There's no, it's open world, you know, he's still not going to be voice acted or nothing. There's not really a reason, like, this game clearly doesn't look like it's really a part of the main series, really. So why not just give us the ability to select whether we want to play as a male Link or a female Link. There's not really anything, and quit giving us dumbass reasons for why you're not doing it. I mean, you make yourselves look like a bunch of dumbasses. What else? God of War. Oh my god, God of War looks fucking incredible, you guys. Mass Effect Andromeda, there's not really much to say about it. They didn't really show that much, so it's a little disappointed. I'm probably going to love it when it comes out. You know, Death Stranding, I could talk about that a lot, but man, I'm just running out of time. Final Fantasy 15, you know, Injustice 2, I'm really excited about. But yeah, I might talk about this some more next time, you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really hope that you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys are excited for. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Your support really means the world to me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time, wherever it may be. This has been Commander Shepard, signing